because there's no spoilers with how I run this. Okay, so hello and welcome to the Wolves of Ron, where I have forgotten to turn off my fucking camera, and now need to.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
No, alright, we got.
Man, I miss when that was the stupidest thing that man had ever done.
Yeah. So we find ourselves having a quite the adventure, wherein the Raven, both the Raven, oftentimes more, and the Hawk, also known as Ramba, find themselves on a bit of an adventure. But these will not be the Raven and Hawk that you last saw. No, this is the adventure as the higher level ones are like, oh, what are we gonna do about this dragon ally we have? Oh, we're so incredibly wealthy. Well, some of their companions, find their way into the goo deep. So we subtract two generics from the crew, and born our two level 0 characters headed in to see if they have what it takes to join the crew on their greatest adventures, get wealthy or die trying. And we find ourselves just here in the depths as they approach one of these huge spires across salty waters. Indeed, they are mucking through these shallows around these giant stone claws. The water splish splash they were taking a bathing about.
Very much a when last we saw our heroes, they were doing cool things. These
Indeed.
are not our
By the way,
heroes.
Pat, what's your character's name? You're still a default Raven copy.
I believe it was Korla, Korla.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Korla and Elbil, accompanied by two of their closest generic companions. And Elbil and Korla, you not find yourselves wholly unequipped, given the circumstance. You have both found your way into pairs of leather armor. Whoa. Additionally, you have your choice of one of the following to augment your gear as a sign that the crew has plenty of weapons and loot to go around. 1. A mace. 2. Let me check what Midnight Suns calls this. A round shield. Or indeed, a hand axe. Hand axes you can throw and are 1d6 weapons. They're also finesse, actually, which I didn't realize. But you can have a dexterity axe in this game. A mace is, of course, an old reliable. And the round shield has a special quality. It gives you +2 AC per usual, occupying one hand. However, when you're hit with a melee attack, you may choose to destroy the weapon to negate all damage from the attack. So you both get leather armor and one of those three in addition to your starting gear. And so
Well,
you
the hand axe sounded useful.
absolutely, it's finesse, so you can attack with dex. It's let me see if it has been brought to the compendium by my importation of the thingy, or if I have to go get it somewhere else. Midnight Sun items.
Is indeed in the compendium,
The
at least as far
hand?
as I can.
The hand axes?
I just put it in from the compendium.
Well, beautiful then. Alright.
It's underneath greatsword and above javelin. Shout out to the Shadowdark crew for making a very, very useful Foundry
Yeah.
implementation.
Yeah, that
We
might have
love to
been
see
the
it.
importer, because you can import PDFs. Which are really cool. But I digress.
That's awesome.
Elbil and Corla. Elbil, why don't you tell us how you came to join the crew and what you're thinking as you trudge towards this large stone with this sort of shadowed hole ahead of you.
Let's just be honest. Elbow has a wisdom of 6. It's a
Mm-hmm.
-2. This elbow is way over their head, but they're fine. He's more of a smooth talker. Apparently, bragged a bit, and now people are dragging him over to, see if they can talk the talk. It's like, oh no.
Conversely, Corla is, middling intelligence, decent wisdom, but timid as hell, and does not, in fact, talk the talk, and is kind of, trying to refrain from shivering out of intimidation, looking upon the task at hand, and kind of cozies on up to. Is it elbow?
It's fine. Elbow. It's Elbow, okay? Corla, right?
Yeah. What have we gotten ourselves into?
I don't know. Uh, it, we got dragged to destroy that monastery, and yeah,
Right. Yeah, we kicked some ass there, but there were a lot more of us then, and now
yeah,
there's 4 of
yeah.
us.
And now they're sending us in.
Uh-huh.
Why do I feel like we're in danger?
Uh I think we are. Well, she extends a hand. It's nice to meet you, and it's been
No,
nice knowing you.
no, I'm not gonna die here.
Yeah, your
No.
companions say, "Ha! What the humor you have! I'm going to live. I don't know about you two."
Well, thanks for the show of confidence.
Hey, there's 3 of us. And then the other guy says, "Ah, maybe we're already down when I didn't notice." Ho ho ho. And the other guy, kind of like trying to count it on his fingers, sort of waves it off.
Yeah, he raises his hand and he has 3 fingers.
Amazing. So,
1,
you
2,
trudge
3.
up upon a vast spire, salt-bitten spire, and before you is a descent into it. There is briny salt water splashing at the entrance. Do you enter? And do you do anything before you enter?
I'm going to light the torch.
So smart. So this was
You hold it
called the
high
Goo
above
Depths,
the...
right?
Because you're like chest deep in like racking salty waves. So you light your torch above your head and hold it there as you march up in. Yes, Pat?
Oh, yeah. Corla says, so this place was called the Goo Depths or something, right?
Yeah, I heard them calling it the Goo Deep. And someone says, yeah, I heard they gave the Goo Deep to your mom before we set sail. Keep her warm for the winter. Ho ho ho. The other guy kind of starts to like grab him by the shoulder and punch a little.
Hey now. Let's let the monsters down here do that to us first.
Ugh.
Okay?
Let them all absorb you. Odin will see that I am a true warrior and grant me some sort of cool eye-based wisdom bonus. I'm sure of it. I've seen it in my dream. Oh, I'm
Who
sure
are
you've
you,
seen
the
lots of
captain?
things in your dreams. Oh, shut up. All you see in your dreams is getting goo deeped.
Uh,
They're
Elvo,
saying
I'm gonna
goo,
stick
right?
with you.
Yeah, yeah.
And, says, thank you. I've, come up with a new name for myself. You know, I'm going by Voden's son now. And he's like, I know what you're thinking. But it's not Voden's son like son of Voden. It's Voden's son. Like I am the light that lights up Voden's world. And Zvoran says, if this is the last time I have to hear this shit, I will die a happy man, even if I am dragged down to hell by Freya herself. And Voden's son said, that doesn't sound so bad. I mean, you know, goddess of death, she's probably pretty hot. Soren says, pretty good idea. See, this is what I said. You're always thinking about goo deep. And as this
Elvo, I need a drink.
as this racket continues, you find yourselves in the place. I will put a terrain wall between you and the lower level because it is like, you know, down far enough you can't see into the room properly from up here.
Hmm.
But you find yourselves in this chamber. It's a briny saltwater splash behind you. There are ancient etchings lining the wall. Gray stone, blue stone inside of it. And you have a sort of gray-blue native stone, quarry stone combination here. Everything feels almost feverishly fluid, though, as you get a little closer to the inside, and it's just a strange feeling. Of tautness as
Bad
you
feeling
enter.
about this.
And there's an ancient etching on the wall. You see scenes of ships, the sea, and sacrifice, immortalized in some form of art, etched there with different color bands into the stone. A path descends 10 feet to your south.
Let's just stick together so we can elect to like move as a group, right?
I agree.
All right. So why did I volunteer myself to take the lead? Oh damn it.
You volunteered? Yarla just pushed me ahead.
Yeah, let's just go. Uh, he's gonna edge slowly and just like, oh, glide with a wall.
Excellent. Oh, do terrain walls collide with you like that? That's interesting. So, it gets hot as you descend.
So hotter, so hot.
Decidedly uncomfortably hot, in fact.
Oh, actually, so hot it hurts.
As you descend, you find yourselves in a very heated room. And Voden's son says, I'm going to melt in my arm if we stay here much longer. As you find yourselves in this chamber that is... There's ancient wall carvings and would-be stone stacked dungeon walls that are blurred together here in a messy tableau, halfway between deliberate structure and natural cave. In an inescapable sense of heat, it seems to come up through you and around you and all over. You feel as if though staying in this room, it's gonna be a bad time. And like, if you have anything flammable on you, it's been exposed to this air, it's not gonna stay unignited for long. And
Oh no.
Yarla, what are you
I want-
rolling to find out?
I'm rapidly investigating the strange sigils and the writing on the wall, as it were. And I want to get as much of an impression of this place and what it's intended for, and specifically this room, and any sort of hints at what the greater purpose of this structure is, based on what the writings and architecture would imply. And I want to do it quite quick because she is also just dripping with sweat at this point. She's a quick sweater, and she's just gross at this point.
You see journeyers across the sea who worship a lion and produce stacked cairns and deep carvings at the powerful places of the world. Though for what reason, you feel the authors felt obvious. Additionally, I would note that there is an iron door brimming with steamy heat to your south. It locks the way. There's a passage to the west and a passage to the east, and your compatriots are eager to see
1 second.
something happen. Yes.
I have a
Elbow.
crowbar.
You got a crowbar.
Ooh. Brilliant.
Time to use it on the door.
Yes. Also, does it seem like the heat is coming through that door?
No, it's coming from all around you in the room.
What is the heat coming from? Is that something that I can tell with my critical success insight kind of thing roll?
The room. You look around and you think it's the room itself, the place you're in. The rock is radiating this heat.
The rock is hot.
That's not
That
good.
is concerning.
You start to pry at it, and you can already tell that there is something that has stuck it so firmly in place. All you can do is break your crowbar off on it. You feel that you both feel confident that if you spend a turn here, you are going to take damage.
Okay.
All right, we go east.
That's your right. East. All right.
All right, so
Like the setting
the
sun.
party stacks into the east, and with that determination, we begin the night's initiative.
As a modern audience, rocks that produce heat concern me.
You find silvery moss with a proud blistering coat covering all the walls, ceiling, and floor. There's a strange lump on the eastern end of the room as you come in and check it out. We begin our initiative go around with Corella.
Okay. Well, that lump is probably a thing that's trying to kill us. I'm sure the moss is also trying to kill us. Why did I come here?
Relax, okay? We can make it.
Okay. I want to look around to see if there's any traps or monsters that I can discern.
It's worth noting you can check for hidden doors and traps and stuff without any sort of a check in the system, and if they're there, you find them. But my question here is, are you just looking around the walls, or are you looking at the lump?
I look around the walls, but I want to focus in on the lump. Also, does the silvery moss seem to be moving? Do I
Not
see
any
signs
more
of,
than
like,
moss does
it
when closely
consuming stuff?
examined.
Are there like little bone shards in it or anything? Indicating
Well, not
carnivorous
until you come to the
behavior?
lump. You
Uh,
peel
okay,
it off
yeah, I thought so.
to reveal a skeletonized adventurer. You look closely and see it looks like they were stabbed in the back, ribs around the heart broken. You find, in addition, that while any leathery substance has been stripped from the hilt and other joints, there is a suit of chainmail, a short sword, and 7 GP left on the personage, such as it remains.
Well,
Well, we found gold. We can go home.
yeah, right? I don't think Jarl is going to be satisfied with this.
This is just the
She's
purse of a
mean.
dead man. Come. Surely it just only shows there's greater treasure. If this has been left here.
Can you...
Elbil.
Elbil, can you
Yeah.
use a short sword?
Yes.
Well, remember, you're level 0s. Anyone can use anything. In fact, you can even read magic scrolls.
The effectiveness, though, is the question. All right, here, why don't you take the chainmail and the short sword?
Sure.
Elbil, do you want to spend a turn? Do you want to spend your turn just donning the chainmail?
Yeah. Especially because I'm the one with the light.
I'll allow it. You quickly shimmy in. Orla, it's your next turn. Or actually, before that happens.
Oh.
How interesting. How interesting. How interesting. How interesting. How interesting.
Go
How
south.
incredibly interesting.
Oh no.
You hear sort of like a thunderous footfall, and someone say, "Quick, through here!" And what do you know? Um, you know, four adventuring-looking types come through, and they say, "Ho, fellow adventurers, I see, eyeing you up."
Hell. What what luck? What news have you of the other side?
They see you like pulling on some chainmail and stuff, and they say, "Ah, we know a bit. We've actually crawled a bit of this first floor." And he kind of points to the sack of gold that you're pocketing, and he says, "Throw us a little of that, and I wouldn't mind sharing what we know."
Deal. I toss three four gold.
All right. He bites it, and he says, "Yes, you should know we're actually here for raptor eggs. I think we're near their nest."
Ah, I've
Yes,
heard
there's
of
been a
these
fall
things.
off in delivery to the nearby All Kirlizia Alehouse, and they need to pay to, pay a premium for them.
Have
Because
ale.
it's not like velociraptor
Yes.
eggs are common on the island or anywhere else.
No, indeed. Our our Jarl and compatriots are interested in the same, which is why we are down here.
You should know that this place is full of acid, and that there is a room of silvery fine shards. This metal sand um, will act upon anyone who tarries there wearing metal armor.
Hmm.
If you find yourself in there, you must rush through quickly, just as it is with the heated room. I can tell you that by beyond the locked door, which we found no way to act upon whatsoever, there is well, there's a chamber. I can tell you that the floor there is goopy, but not much else. There are thick membranes of acid around this place. Fire could destroy them, but it will also probably consume the source of the flame. But the things that live here frequently have no trouble traveling through them. Aside from that, Clark says he heard demons. Yes, I definitely heard demons. They're like chittering in my ear whenever we try and take a break. So I would watch out for that. Clark has a good ear for demon things.
Good to know.
Indeed.
Well, we wish you luck in your endeavors.
Certainly. Um, and they kind of, stop and take a break and says, "We're actually going to, take 10 here, but, we'll be around. And, call if you need help." And they kind of, like, chill here for a minute. Viking friends to stack up on your side. Corla, it is now your turn.
Reassuring. To the south then? I say to my partner.
Sure.
Odin Sun is born, tag along.
All right, what's in here?
Okay, you find a
The
sloping
shit.
room that descends into a gray pool with an acrid scent over in this corner. You see there's a scrap of cloth and bone ring at the lip of the pool. There's also a glinting metal pole visible at the far end.
Over here?
Wait, hold on.
Or
Yeah, so
wait,
the
you mean
gray
pole
pool
here?
is right here.
All right, gray pool, acrid, gross, ungood vibes. But then there's a pole, as in Pole, down here.
It's the pole is at the far end of the pool. This is just another passageway which you could go investigate if you wanted.
Interesting. What does the pole seem to be connected to, if anything?
It's just in the pool, and maybe there's something. It does occasionally like shift, maybe faintly with the wind or something, but it's not like there's much wind in a cave. In fact, the more you look at it, the more it's like, yeah, it's almost like something's acting upon it from within the pool.
Okay, then it's not a mechanism. It's something weird's going on in that pool, and I shouldn't touch it.
No, no, get away, get away. That's dangerous.
It looks like a very solid
Yeah.
metal pool. It doesn't seem like it's melting or anything.
We're just gonna move away from that.
All right, so you've satisfied yourself having Luke around and Erbil or Elbil. I assume you move to the same room and then have a look
Yep.
around.
Yep. I look to my elf I see.
So what was that?
What do my elf I see? Well, now
The
that I'm
west,
in
you
the
see
room.
there's a room with a goopy floor, a sort of collapsed stone cobbled hallway. Um, and to the south, you see that there is like a turn that looks like it might be a hallway, but it ends in nothingness. Then there's the gray pool. You can search for things like hidden doors as your action if you'd like.
Yes. Head indoors. Let's search for it.
You feel around, and aha! What do you know? Chink. You find hidden door. Wow. There's a strange gray and blue brick outcropping here. There's an out of place element, like a circular stone. You press it, and it clicks open, and the stones pull away. Beyond, you see a green and gold metal room. Now then,
I found
also
something.
you guys get to. I think you can move one room and do an action. You started. No, you started your room. Turn to the other room. So it's Corliss' turn.
What did you find?
You step in. Is green and gold metal and emerald glass that form clean shapes and dynamic angles and arches. The surfaces are totally unmelted here. The air tastes wrong, but better somehow. Potent greenery hangs from built-in trellises and baskets. It is overgrown yet orderly somehow. And you see that there is a staircase that descends the lower floor.
Why is there greenery in the middle of a dungeon?
It's probably some sort
Should
of
I just
a
work here?
sign from Gedi, the god of harvests and feasts. Maybe it's a sign that there's something unnatural happening. I mean, I don't think goo is part of a natural environment anyway. Probably some wizard's
Yeah.
trick.
I'm inclined to believe this is some wizard's trick, but let's investigate
You want to
further.
descend? All right. To do this in the best way with the current setup of the Foundry, I will fade this version of you and insert you. 6 and -2. So, bear in mind, your token has become over here. You move 2
Oh,
rooms,
I
this will be what
see.
you do, but I will describe what you've found. You see the green and gold, emerald glass, and clean shapes and all that. And in fact, it still tastes wrong. And like, yeah, it's in fact like the exact same description. But there's multiple exits out from this chamber, you would note. Or maybe these are actually sort of like, fanned out like sections. It looks like there's like ways around. Not sure if they are obscuring other doorways or not. You do see some sort of strange magic-looking bluestone pillar that seems to have X's and O's on it that might be twistable up to the north. And yeah. Meanwhile, and to be clear, there is like a balcony above, so you can like look up
Yeah,
and see the people at the balcony who call down to you. How's it looking down there?
it expands. It keeps going. It's a second floor, I think.
Whoa! And Elbil, I presume you enter into this room.
Yeah, we got to go up the second floor.
All right, so you can go down. You want to go down to the second floor, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I got to catch up with the friend.
L
Okay.
-2.
All right. You can Patriots decide to follow up. Oh yeah, and reminder, you guys can, if you want to automatically spend your move, with each other, do so.
Yeah,
So
I want to stick with Corla, so we'll just like
yeah,
whenever she moves, I move.
yeah. When you make the base move, it'll get moved, and you just do your action your turn. All right, Corla, you find yourself in this strange new place, and
Hmm.
yeah, that's all.
Okay. I kind of peek down here and see what's good.
It's a goopy floor room with a stone cobbled hallway has collapsed. Oh, I might have been reading the wrong
Hmm.
room. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, the room upstairs wasn't this. Oh god. I need to put the F's on the numbers. Alright, yeah. So there is a collapsed stone cobbled hallway with cave-ins that have clipped either side. There's a shimmering green 15-foot across portion of the hallway.
This bit,
Yeah.
shimmering green, as in it's
Oh, by the way, I just
vegetal.
realized something. The light fades from the general atmosphere of your eyes as you realize that you cannot see ahead without some illumination. Also, Elbil, do you not have your torch active?
It should be
Has it been
active.
an
Oh,
hour?
fuck, I know why. It's because it's technically speaking on your other... Hold on. Okay. Um, I'm doing something.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a. Let me see what my inventory. I have an oil and flask and a club. Club plus oil equals torch, right?
Uh, don't worry, I'm back.
Ah, well, why don't you join me, Elbill? Let's look at whatever the fuck this is. It's green. Why is it green?
Fix that. Yeah, it burbles a little. Almost you can see bubbles in it.
Okay, so that's definitely acid, right?
I don't know what acid looks like, one of your companions informs. But probably.
Uh, maybe like I'm gonna just dip a short sword in it just to see what happens.
Not the short sword.
All
We
right, it
just got
sizzles,
that.
and the front tip of it melts, degrading the
Used one of my
metallic
arrows.
material swiftly. It seems to deals 4 points of damage. The top of the short sword is
Uh,
now like sheared off where you dipped it.
yeah, I have a hand axe
Chest.
too, so don't worry. I'm just like I just look at Carla and just be like, yeah. Is there a way across? Do we have like rope?
Um, Great question. Um, let's see if it affects all materials the same. I say as I cut a very small piece of leather off of my belt and kind of just, sprinkle it in Salt Bay style and watch what happens.
So you start to sprinkle salt.
What? No, I sprinkle a little piece of leather that I cut off of my belt.
Okay, so it looks like both organic and metallic materials are consumed in the same way by the scoop. It sizzles.
Hmm.
Let's look to see if there's like another hidden door.
Yeah, also, there's other ways we can go. We
All
don't
right.
necessarily need to spend our time here.
All right. So Corla, you I guess spend your turn doing science experiments, and Bill searches for hidden doors and finds none in this room. And now the two of you are back in 6. And
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
which way do you head?
go up north and see what's good up
Yeah.
here.
You peer around and find this is in fact just like a green metal emerald like corridor with
Oh,
gold trim.
well, it's very fancy.
Yeah, let's go over here. It's a hallway.
Okay. I like your thinking. And the fact that you're carrying light. That too.
Right, the
Lot of
two of
light.
you find yourself in this chamber. There's a cleanly etched stone walls marred by a strange gash by the western door.
Hmm.
the doorway, like archway rather. The air almost vibrates electrically with tension. There's a three-banded circular pillar that stands in the middle of the room. And an audible crackle of power, like, can be heard. The pillar's bands display XXX northwards and OOO southwards. You get the feeling like you could put your hands on it and change how it is arrayed.
What is this?
Uh, I don't know.
Maybe it's some sort of southern rune.
Maybe.
They kind of make X's and O's with their hands. They are. Oh my fucking god! I was reading second F for the acid ramp too. Oh my god.
Pull yourself together, man. Also, you've been watered.
What if we play like tic-tac-toe with
A
it?
water the Lee. Thank you, Jag. Jesus Christ.
I was thinking the same thing. How would we do that, though?
Good question.
I roll a 10, an unnatural 10, to try and figure out if we could play tic-tac-toe with these things.
It's kind of hard because, like, well, I mean, you could, but you just be rotating and you'd get an alignment pretty quickly because it's X or it's O. You know what I mean? It's X on one side, O on the other. So right now, it's sort of like a solved Rubik's Cube in that sense. It would not be very hard to resolve after you changed it. You feel like that what matters is X is facing the north or the south, and you could, like, you know, change it up.
Should we test it?
Let's look around first to see if there's any signs we can find.
I agree. That sounds smart.
You do note down
Wait,
the
was
hall
there-
to the north. Actually, you haven't yet seen it, but it looks like a similar chamber to the north. If you bring your torch closer,
Oh.
like you just stand in the doorway. Yeah, there's a similar pillar right north of here. That one seems to be showing XXX southwards, and assuming that it's the same system, would necessarily be OOO northwards. So you ponder that.
One is a positive, one is
We
a
come back
negative.
around to Corliss' turn.
Okay, well, I want to go down this way and see what's going on in the other room that's like
All right.
this.
You move into this chamber. You see there's a pathway to the north and a pathway to the west, and
Does the north have another XOXO?
no, it only appears to be these two. And the same thing is true. The clean edge stone walls. If you touch the wall, it feels preternaturally still to the touch. And there's a three-banded circular pattern. An audible crackle of power is heard. So right now, it is OOO north, XXX south.
Very
Okay,
interesting.
and this one was
Is XXX north, OOO south. So they mirror each other.
So what you would do on one, you would probably want to do on the other.
do we have like okay, the south is 0 and then the
Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm making sure I'm actually doing this correctly. So 2, you have O's north and X's south. And 3, you have X's north and O's south. So the X's are presently facing each other in total alignment.
Okay, so it's not a
Let's
positive.
turn this around just to see.
On the one side? Okay. I facilitate this.
Okay, so what do you do?
We turn the entire pillar around.
Okay, so you do all 3 sections, and gradually, it's like that one like playground thing, and you wind up with all O's facing to the south. There's a
Slow.
sensation of energy and tension that saps from both of the rooms, and there seems like there's less going on. Like maybe it's not doing anything in particular right now.
What if we just turn one of these things?
I mean, sure.
All right, so
I'm
more or
look.
less with Corliss' action, you try that out. With Elbill's action, what do you do?
Want to just turn the middle one and just see if we do XOX?
Sure, you can try that. It remains without any great recognition of like anything happening.
Hmm.
All right.
The only
I
time you
think we should
felt,
just.
yeah, sorry.
Mhm. Go ahead.
The only time you felt the power was when they were matching, north and south. Your
Hmm.
compatriots are in the southern chamber and say, "Should we be tutting things too?"
Uh, yeah. Why don't you get that thing to have the X's go south? We're gonna just have this be south, pointing south too. So we'll just
And of
see.
course, this is necessarily because you're rotating them around. It's OXO, right, on the north side to do XOX on the.
No, we're just gonna do flat like OOOs and then X.
All right, you're
Mhm.
gonna do. You want to face
Whoop.
the triple X at the south again, or do you want to point the OOO at the south?
Uh, we want that. We want our compatriots on the south to move this to move the X's south,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then we.
So we're oh to each other.
All right, you scoop it around. You hear as if those stone is moved somewhere,
Oh, we
and
did something.
you feel like you hear something lower raising, and there's like an electricity that returns to the room. Um, and they're like, "Wow, it feels like that did something somewhere."
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Uh, yeah, well, we got to hurry because let's see here. 28 minutes.
Okay, let's go to the left or the north.
Ah, you're already there. Let's go. I'll follow you.
All right, so
Okay.
we find ourselves at Corliss' turn. Yep, and you find yourselves in front of like a dead end chamber. There's a pathway here. You can look through it. It is a vast membrane of acid. As you go to touch, you realize you feel like it's like floor to ceiling acid, and this shit is probably what the other adventurers were describing, and it looks like it's
All right.
probably going to burn you, melt at you as you pass through it. It looks like it's probably faint enough that someone with a lot of hit points could tank it, but you feel like it could be the end of you.
Yeah,
Although you do
yeah,
recall them
no,
saying
we can
fire
get to
could
it.
destroy it. The slime membrane.
Yeah. I wonder. We don't want to damage the torch, but what if I were to um she thinks for a second and
Wait,
then
do you have a flask?
I do have a flask.
Make make a trail like here. Spill some oil. We light the oil, and yeah,
Brilliant. Okay, yeah. All right. So we set up a what are
we
they
set
called?
up like a good powder trail like in Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Ye olde powder tray. We are so smart.
The one moment of brilliance. That's it.
All right, so you come around the corner. It burns off. You come back and check, and you see it is burned away about 5 feet of the 15 feet. If you're willing to spend the whole oil flask, you can repeat this twice and totally wipe out the membrane between you and the room beyond. Do you want to?
Sure, why not?
All right. It takes a go around. Nothing in particular happens in that time. Your compatriots are like waiting behind. And yeah, you just pose this shit until there is nothing left between you two in the next chamber. You enter triumphant, I presume.
I think so.
All
All right,
right.
well, both of you move yourself in there. There's a raised platform. There are raised
The
platforms
kitchen.
that hold 10 stone burial urns. The motifs of reeds, bones, and gulls are etched expertly in a band around the ceiling's edge. In the center of the room, a 5-foot wide hold skull is etched in the same hand. There is a silvered narwhal tusk hanging on the southern wall. Lesser stone and clay fragments have been smashed or slagged about the room, and it's coated in ashes.
Okay, so this is definitely a burial chamber. Nice. Last time I was in a burial chamber, somebody touched something and a whole bunch of monsters emerged.
Yeah, but maybe they're full of burial treasures,
Yeah.
says
Wait,
Woden's son.
people get buried with treasures?
Of
Well,
course.
Yarla keeps telling me that if we do good on our jobs, we'll be buried with treasures too.
Indeed. Do you, by the way, it looks like the silvered narwhal tusk is worth 300 GP. Do you, you consider
Ooh.
going for it?
Check the
I think
traps.
she'd want me to go for it.
Corla, you pick it up and ding, you have a silvered narwhal tusk worth 300 GP. It is Elbill's turn.
Wow.
I am going to be searching for hidden doors.
You don't find hidden doors, but you do as you examine the chamber. Well, first of all, actually, wait, I'm fucking lying to your face. What the fuck? You find a hidden door, it's right over here. By the way, you do note from the last one that they automatically close after one turn open. To the south, there is 5 foot of slime membrane, but here, there's a door you can open. And, compatriots kind of, like, file in behind you. Do you, Elbil, do you, like, move through? I would say, as you search the room, it looks like something with the base exactly the size of the narwhal tusk could slot into the carved skull on the floor.
Puzzle piece.
Oh, I guess we have to do this. I say as I pull the narwhal tusk out.
All right, do you insert it?
I look over to Elbil. Do I insert it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
There's a
Plunk.
click, and there is a ghastly, ghostly choir. Oh. The hole in the skull goes a few inches deeper, and as you click it in, the rudimentary threading that matches the silvered one on the end of the tusk, the choir of dead raise their voice, and you feel thanks wash over you as this foreign tongue regales you, and before you miraculously unfolds a blue sailcloth, which seems to be ever just the size needed, as you obtain the sail to catch the winds.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It gives a +1 to all sailing-related checks on the ship using it, and may break falls from any height when stretched as a tarp. May be swung as a net to catch storms.
How can it catch
That
storms?
looks pretty cool.
That looks really important. I think we've just gotten something amazing, and you guys like co-opt that. It's a turn, and they're like, yeah, that looks like. I mean, it's kind of a sail. It's a pretty good treasure, and they kind of like look longingly at the urns, but none of them have the courage to disturb them. You know that there is what appears to be a passage that descends somewhat in the room to the north.
Yeah, but we got a secret passage to our west.
All right, what do you guys do?
Okay, let's go through that secret passage.
Yeah, go west.
Go west, young Viking.
Life is peaceful there.
That's what they say.
All right, so
Oh.
to the north, there's more hallway. To the south, you see a large table of sorts.
Interesting. Looks like a
Yes.
fancy banquet hall.
Yes, indeed. You see a collapsed hall with a grand stone table with conflicting alcoves, warped non-passageways with grand columns and twisting arches and swiveling stonework. And in fact, as you enter, you guys don't get quite this deep before. Hold on.
I was told this would be a meat grinder, and yet our meat is ungrinded.
Yeah, well,
Don't
no,
say that.
you don't worry. You found the site of the grinding, my friend.
Yeah, I figured.
You see someone is sat at the end of the table. I'm just additionally, you see gray oozes lurking, but they're not attacking you yet. You see I forgot. I thought I had updated the tokens for. What the fuck? It's not taking the update. Whatever. You see the gray oozes. Indeed. There are 6 of them.
Gray ooze tokens, or Groots for short.
There's a slagged blue throne at the southern end of the chamber. Next to the throne, lounge what could only be devils. The anonymous. God damn it. No, I didn't set the defaults on the tokens correctly. Oh no, this is one I hadn't done before. And lo and behold, what do you see there? But temptuous cubi.
Oh.
And
Well, I
who do they
Whoa.
sit alongside? But what would appear to be most potent winged armored devil, an Erinyes, on a slagged blue stone throne. Say that 5 times fast. The cubi and the gray oozes all seem to await her command. And she speaks in a fiery tone and says, I am Kirashab the Dissoluter, and you have entered my hall.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We're just passing through.
She
Right,
looks at
yeah.
you discerningly, and I ask, what's the best charisma modifier between the two of you?
+2.
I have a plus. I think, actually, you might have me beat. I think I've got a +1.
I'm at 14.
Okay. She's curious. Also, I need to find Irene. I didn't realize you guys were gonna get this deep this fast. I feel like Dark Fantasy definitely has something that would work as an Erinyes, but
I've definitely drawn, like, Arinyas are, like, demon ladies, right? Definitely drawn
like demon
something
ladies
like that.
wearing plate armor with wings and shit.
I wish I could tell you
So,
where,
like,
but I've definitely drawn something like that.
My fucking
paladin.
explorer's crash. I know that we do. This is why I was asking earlier if anybody had database experience, because my god, I am. For now, I will use this demonic motherfucker to represent them because so the foe looks at you. You look at the foe. And it is feeling like a somewhat tense moment here. Describe for me, what are your alignments?
Lawful.
Chaotic.
Maybe that's why one of you had better charisma for this occasion.
Yeah. Corla just does what Yarla tells her to do. She's not a deep thinker.
No, there's some people that just, go with the flow. It's fine.
What the fuck? I can see on one computer, but not the other. Sorry. I uploaded, I thought everything I would need beforehand, and this is why I need itemized lists at the beginning of every area for all the monsters they have, because you don't want to get caught out like this. So, this will do for our enemies for now. So, the Arrhenius is curious, and she cracks her whip at the wall, and part of it literally melts and peels off into an additional 3 gray oozes. They take the forms of like hulking like men with weapons, and she says, "Show me your metal. Kill and eat these." And with that,
Oh.
the enemy rolls initiative. She's not attacking with her significant force, but these ones out front are.
Okay.
This gray ooze approaches Elbil. Makes a single tentacle attack. And misses. Corla, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, time to get clubbing, I guess. Actually, should I use my... No, I should definitely use my hand axe. That's way smarter. Hold on. Do I know offhand if most oozes are susceptible to fire, or if that's just something pertinent to the wall of ooze that we came through?
Wisdom.
Roll me an int check.
Okay. Damn, it was almost 20. Ugh.
I mean, let me put it this way. You've seen green acid, and you've seen other kinds of acid, and you've seen, like, gray rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, gray-blue rock. You've even seen it in, like, the melting room of, like, super hot chamber temperatures. She just, like, this stuff is made of recently molten rock. Like, she literally just cracked the wall with her whip to build these things.
Okay.
It's not clear to you that it's
I...
made of something that fire is going to act upon greatly.
Okay, yeah, that would seem reasonable. I'm gonna finesse weapon with my hand axe against the one that's kind of close to me.
Okay.
Well, okay,
Do you come
that's
up?
not so bad.
And are you going to throw your axe? Or you're going to get in there and give it to. Okay. You thought him for one. They're not terribly hurt. And I'm going to roll a d6 here. Ooh, the hand axe's metal axe head is dissolved, and you are left holding a stick.
Another torch. Okay.
So, it's another Great Ooze's turn. They approach Elbil and attempt to tentacularly strike. Does that hit Elbil? No, right? Because the chainmail?
No, I'm 14.
All right. The
Oh.
one across from Orla attacks.
Oh, I'm wildly just gonna die right now.
The tentacle pulses forward and gives you a
You said it.
hard. But are there overkill rules?
I don't know,
It's 20
but I think they'd
damage.
apply. Got to bring her back as an ooze now. But
So
in her
you
final moments, if the GM permits, she's going to realizing that she's just fucking gone. She's going to chuck the sail to one of the compatriots in the back and say, "Tell y'all I wrested this from the."
all right. I mean, really speaking, it's 2 turns until you stabilize, but I would not fault you for beginning to roll up your replacement.
Fair enough.
One of these schmoes comes in with a great axe to try and attack a gray ooze,
Can you give me a new character sheet?
missing horribly, and yes, yes, I can. Back up.
Thankful.
Since we're level zeros, we also start with luck, right?
Oh
You
shit!
start what?
That's a good point. Start with more
I
like
didn't
Pat.
hear.
There's a new default copy Raven, and he says you start with luck.
Oh,
I forgot that.
good to know. All right. Well, maybe I'll employ it later.
Well, you in each turn you're gonna get to roll 1d20, so I guess you could use luck to reroll that and hope for the 20. Um, the other companion back here is probably going to be Pat's new character, and I'm assuming that they are the one who got thrown the sailcloth. I don't know, Pat, if you feel your character would make a self-preserving move here.
Um, it's not my turn, is it?
They're not on the tracker formally, but I can change that.
Oh, you mean my new character that I'm making
Yeah,
right
well,
now?
actually, no. Hold on. I'm gonna literally have you come in from behind, so don't worry about it. Yeah, you just worry about making your character. I'll have these schmoes do things. This person went in. Elbil, it's your turn. Orla is down. She's thrown the sailcloth back to Voden's son, and it looks like this situation is pretty bad. All right, you hand axe attack one of the graves in front of you, getting a crit, dealing 7 damage. The one dead on, right?
Yep. I'm just like, oh shit.
You
Oh
act
no,
deep.
Orla.
You slash straight down into it with a sizzle, and it peels apart. It's badly damaged. It's barely still standing. And you again touch the gray ooze with a non-magical piece of metal, and as you bring your hand axe back up, it rises so swiftly because, oh fuck, the metal is slagged off of it. You're holding a stick.
That's bad.
Yep, do you want to move on your turn? Do you want to, like, get somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move up.
Yeah, back up. Woden's son, says, we can't lose our companion in our first fight, and runs up with the sail to catch the winds and tries to, like, wave it to catch the gray ooze. And he kind of just sort of winds up whipping himself about with it and being blown by the gust over here. This gray ooze attacks Sworn with a tentacle. Missing. Oh shit, Pat.
Mm.
This is slightly bullshit, but I would like to... Oh, wait, no, you didn't take the, You took the hand axe instead of the, round shield. Right, never mind.
The shield, you mean?
Yeah, because the round shield you can destroy to negate all damage. But, what art do you want for... You want me to just use the same art for your next one?
Sure, yeah. Feels simple enough. And this is, Mazzy, M-A-Z-A, or M-A-Z-A, or M-A-Z-I. Fuck. The Seer's Apprentice.
Ooh. Badu. All right.
But anyway, because Carla is still, or Corla is still here, I'm happy to make that.
Yeah, roll one
Is it a
d20.
D20?
Yep.
What is that?
You got a 14. You could spend your lucky.
Stabilized?
No, you're not. You need to get for this roll. You need to get a 20. Do you want to spend your lucky to see if you get that and get up at one gaming?
You know what? Sure, why not?
All right, roll one more d20. Ooh, close. Well, next time you'll get one more roll. All right, so it's the gray ooze. This gray ooze attacks the bow. Missing. The gray ooze who got the horrible crit on you sort of like splorps over, comes back to Elbil, makes a tentacle attack against him. Ooh. Elbil, you didn't happen to take the round shield, did you?
No, I'm dead.
Elbil, you're down. Give me a D4 plus con mod. I'll remember turning the combat music now that half the fucking the whole party is fucking dead.
All right.
That leaves you with 3 turns until you're totally dead. You'll get some d20s to roll. See if you get a natty. And Elbil, my boy, you. I'm going to make another PC backstage offset. Do.
Cool. I'll get that filled in.
You're the Hawk, right?
Yep.
All right. There is a new default Hawk copy. So the enemy's MVP is up here. Dvorn, seeing that half the fucking team is down, you know, sort of comes back here, takes a swipe at the enemy MVP with his great axe. Failing horribly, sort of tosses it into the enemy and starts to dissolve. He's like, fuck! And then he proceeds to keep running away, where he sees Mazzy behind him. Elbil, roll me 1d20. Nope. Vodenson, is going to carry with sprinting. Alright, actually, no, he's going to make a strength check to do this. Vodenson manages to get Elbil out, but he's still bleeding. Mazzy. It is Mazzy's turn. Corla could still survive, but she'll be, you know, like, dragged out as a casualty if she does live. What are you doing? You just caught up with your companions, and, you know, one's missing, one's down, and 2 of them are running.
What just happened? I just got here. Yarla told me to go check up on y'all. It looks bad, right? Is it bad? Oh gosh. Let me try and help you. So what is it to try and stabilize someone?
It's an int check. Unless you have the background of doctor, it's just a straight int check.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I have the background of Seer's Apprentice. Not sure if that helps.
Good enough. I'll give you advantage.
Okay, I'll take it. and I'm glad I did.
Uh,
Look at that.
So you have stabilized Erbil. That doesn't inherently heal him, but it does mean he won't die right now. As like, wow, good thing you just got here. There's some oozes that a devil sent against us to test our metal. Also, there's like 3 devils in there. Yeah, 2 of them were pretty hot.
Oh,
And then the lights
Oh,
go out. You
gracious.
were surrounded by total darkness.
what just happened?
We're fucked. One of them says. There's a splorping of ooze approaching. Alright, Pat, roll me one more d20.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
Oh, Corla had only just begun to live.
R.I.P.
The gray ooze train is sort of catching up a conga line, and one of them actually forces their way into the room and attacks Vorn in the corner. Although, something occurs to me. This door closes automatically 1 turn after. So what Vorn does is he fucking takes the hit. Ugh. He's got some hit points. But the door does automatically click shut 1 turn after. So, Vorn in the corner. This Vorner pulls out a short sword, tries to stab with it. Misses. Elbil. Dark and you're not stabilized. Do you have another character in there?
I'm working on him right now. It's a halfling.
Alright, do I have any halfling Viking art?
No, we're keeping one. Don't worry.
Or we're keeping our steady, our ever reliable one?
Yeah, we're just having that scene in Beer Fest where they replaced Dump Truck with another guy, and he's
With
like,
the
"Just
exact
call
same
me
guy.
Dump Truck."
And actually, it would mean a lot if you also called me the character's name. So it would be like he never stopped being the exact same person as the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. Alright, it's Wodenson's turn. And, yeah, he's lets down air ability and stabilized, and he's like, I can't see! And he kind of like panics and doesn't do anything useful. Mazzy, it's your turn. What do you do?
Well, maybe we should light a torch. Mazzy goes ahead and does exactly that. Close the Corliss tab. So I didn't. My character sheet didn't come with a torch, so I'm just going to go ahead and ignite the club that came with the character.
I would say if you were willing to spend a little bit of that, that oil from the flask, then yeah, you can figure out an impromptu torch.
That sounds right to me. Do you apply the torches here?
There is ways for you to grab them, but I threw it on you. Okay.
Yeah, just save some.
That's kind of your turn. You craft the torch and light it, but you can move if you want to be, say, further from the ooze.
Right, yeah, I'm gonna go down here, which seems to be a safe spot.
Well,
Oh, wait,
you do
what's down
realize
through
that there's
this way?
actually, you say that, there's actually a strange slimy membrane covering the 5 foot to the south.
Oh, interesting. Hope that doesn't serve as a one-way tunnel for the monsters in the other room.
The gray ooze continues to bully Zvorn in the corner. He takes another hit, and the Zvorn, he's up at 1 gaming. He's not going to survive much longer. He again tries to hack at him with a short sword. This time hitting, dealing 6 damage, and his sword sizzles apart, and now a useless hilt. Fuck! He hops out and kicks over 3 of these urns as he runs. Meanwhile,
Hmm,
that's very interesting.
that's not great.
Okay. Gold and ash cracks out through 2 of them, and there's untold glittering fortune. However, the middle one cracks out, right? And oh, isn't that unfortunate? As you see writhing up from the broken ashes, a delectable meal. Particularly in the United Kingdom. Yes, it's pudding. Black pudding. God, I forgot I use every single fucking type of ooze, and I don't have art for it. I spent like 20 minutes I was supposed to be streaming, like, oh wait, I gotta get the... Yeah, it's a black pudding. And, yeah, so it has joined the fray. Elbil is not conscious. Do you have your character good to go?
Yeah, it's Ham Mads. A halfling named Ham. You know he likes pork.
All right, Ham Mabs arrives. Elbil is, unconscious under the weight of the foe, so Elbil will either be saved or not, but without magical healing, he's not going to be getting back up into this fight. The black pudding splorps out in rage and attacks Vodenson as the nearest foe, making 3 tentacle attacks. (13, 15, 5, 9). Yeah, Vodenson's like, ah! He tries to throw. He throws the sail and it lands on the ground as 3 different tendrils of the black pudding pierce him and then draw him inward as it is totally consumed and melted to nothingness. Otherwise, it doesn't even seem metal harmed the black pudding at all. Meanwhile, Bazzy. Oh, that's a big writhing black tendril mass. They just fucking melted one of your compatriots.
It's not good. Okay, so, and that came out of one of these urns?
Yeah, so 3 urns cracked, right? And I should do actually something on the map to indicate the cracked ones. So, what happened was Svorn kicked them over while he ran across to escape, right? 2 of them cracked and, hundreds of, looks like there's over 100 gold pieces have come out. But, in addition to that happening, one of them burbled up into a huge writhing mass of black tendrils, but could only be a black pudding.
Okay, can I make an intelligence check to know anything about black puddings?
Yeah.
I wish I was more intelligent.
Give me a wisdom check to intuit something.
Well... Okay, let's see. I wish I was wiser.
Now, 9 is an easy check. I will say this. The tendrils don't seem to come closer to your fire than they have to.
That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. I'm gonna take the remaining oil that I have, and stick a little, a tiny bit of fabric or something in the stopper of it. Light that with my makeshift torch, and chuck the improvised Molotov cocktail at the ooze.
Amazing. It crashes and splatters all over. Roll me 1d4.
Okay.
It burns for 3 damage, and it seems to be on fire. It is enraged at this and seems focused on you. Well, where do you move? You're also down your acid flask after that. I'll remove it.
Yeah, can I save my move for if it charges at me so that I can move out of the way and have it roll into the thing down here, which is ignitable slime?
Yes, you can do that.
Oh, you're gonna do a full,
I mean, it would be super valid if you were like, that's a dex check, but I think
I
that
was
could
thinking of
be
making a
cool.
dex check, but no, I'll let you. But bear in mind, you can't trigger it early.
Yes.
Okay. The slime membrane makes a slurping sound behind you, and a gray ooze tentacles from behind. Missing. It is default PC's turn. Ham Mads. I knew there was a fiction. Ham Mabs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and hit the slime with my club because Ham, unlike Elvis, Elvo, is suicidal. He's gung ho.
Beautiful.
And let's see. Sad.
Missing. Remember, you do start with luck if you want to burn it right now.
Might as well.
You, in fact, hit. I'll give you the original damage. You deal 2. It looks like if you could do that thing, 3 more times and change, you'd kill it. The wood doesn't seem to melt away.
Oh, that's nice.
The gray ooze is sort of stuck in the membrane in a traffic jam behind. This gray ooze sort of like comes up on Elbill and sort of like dissolves through his body to eat him. R.I.P. Elbill. Zvorn takes out a bow and attempts to shoot at the gray ooze next to you. Blinking it for 2 damage. Arrowhead dissolves, but it's not really gonna damage. And he keeps running. He's fucking scared. The black pudding charges towards Mazzy. Mazzy, I assume you dodge out of the way, tackling your halfling friend, and it splorps into the gray ooze that were bound through it, and then burns away this area, dealing 5 additional damage, and then roll me 1d4.
Yeah, baby.
And then burns for an extra 4 damage. It's not happy. It's clearly intending to come after you on its next turn. But it has to pull itself from the ashes. So Mazzy, it's your turn.
Okay, let's see. Does this... Oh, no. This character did not spawn with a short bow and arrows. Alright. Well, we don't have all that much else. What's in the room to the north?
You guys just saw that it had a
anything?
steep descent. You haven't entered there before.
To the north, new compatriot. Oh, gone.
I gotta wait for my turn.
Yeah. So what's going on up here?
So, floating in the middle of the chamber, you see an emaciated figure whose skin flows with the glowing words of Madeira's law made manifest upon flesh. Effervescent white hair, longer than he is tall, floats behind him in a wild mane. He appears to have reached a state of divine equilibrium, his body worn away as his soul basks in her truth. He does not seem particularly bothered by your presence. Actually, what's your alignment?
Lawful.
Yeah, he's not bothered at all.
I figured. There's an icy cold Madeiran in here.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with that information.
He seems incredibly powerful, and also probably ill-disposed towards the forces of chaos.
Hey, we're being chased down by the forces of chaos right now? Is there any sort of thing you might want to do about that?
Give me a charisma check.
Spend that luck if you have it.
Yeah, do I need to burn a luck on this?
No,
Or is 12
it's a
good?
normal or me checking the system. You are, to be clear, at the edge of like a huge sphere, because this room is to describe it in full. I think I've only described it in part. The ascetic is here, floating. There's crackling blue-white runes flowing over his skin, like ordered lightning. The entire room is bent into ordered rows and columns of stone, bent spherically around this one figure. So you're like at the upper rim of this 30-foot deep. You can like clamber down towards the center of the arena if you want to be below the ascetic. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mazzy's not too proud to beg and or bow to a god that she previously didn't worship. So, you know, she's probably groveling.
He's not interested in the
no
groveling,
god, so-
but he does say, they will not survive in my they will not survive my presence, is what he says. So do you want to like get behind him? You're like floating in the room.
Yeah, to the north, They can't come in here.
This ooze is immune to fire, so it just comes through the bleeding black pudding and enters the chamber, somewhat delirious. Mabs, you can't
I'm
see
running.
anything in the darkness. You know that the torch is to the north. Do you run there?
Yeah. Can I at least do I feel the sail?
Yeah, you can. Give me a dex check to grope around for it.
Okay, because I just want to do that as my action, and then I'm running, like really running. And
You don't. You don't feel the sail, but you do feel a silvered narwhal tusk on the ground. Do you unscrew it?
No, I'm running.
All right. You run to the north. The badly wounded gray ooze walks into the chamber, makes a con save, and even with an incredible result of 18, fucking explodes into spatters of splecks of nothing, and just like evaporates. The other gray oozes and such witnessing this do not approach. However, the black pudding is very angry and burning. Roll me 1d4, Pat.
Okay.
Yep, it burns for a further 4, and it just enters the chamber.
Oh. Oh no.
Makes a con save. Almost nat 20. Instead of 5. So. They hold up their hand, and the ascetic issues a writ of her divine law as it comes up and tries to, like, tentacle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't help but know he seems very wise. And one creature with level 13 or smaller dies. The black pudding is eviscerated. Nothingness on the floor.
All right.
Important question, Ham Mabs. What's your alignment?
Neutral.
The ascetic looks down at you, judgmentally. You get the feeling you might not be in a very safe place for you. What do you do?
He doesn't believe in gods, but I think he's a convert. So I'm gonna put down for his god, Badira, and just be like, I believe in Badira now.
You know what? I kind of feel the same way.
And they say, go forth, and from this day on, follow her law, and know the power of the lion.
Power of the lion. Okay.
So, it is, I'm gonna say, go around. Actually, it's on Ham Mab's turn. Ham Mabs, what do you want to do?
Is there a way to free this person, for Amazi?
Do you ask?
Yeah. Is there a way to get you out?
And the ascetic says, I do not wish to leave unless I have some occasion. I would only be moved if there was some great action of the vile forces of Memnon that needed to be smote.
Wait,
How interesting that you mentioned that.
wasn't there like a dagger or something the crew talked about?
Yeah, you found an
well-
evil dagger and a Memnon cultist. Infiltrating
Yeah,
the
and
Deerin
I-
monastery, I would add.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we're all familiar with the events of what's been transpiring
Yeah,
up
you were
top.
crew members during that. You were in the fighting montage that the D10 was representing. Which also
Yeah,
means
I-
that, or maybe Mozzie got picked up after, but like, you could have been there. It's part of the attack on a Madeirian monastery, which is probably a really bad thing in this current context. But
Yes, and then he's just like, he's having a road to Damascus moment of conversion.
Right. Yeah. So, I think we can possibly try to relay this without involving the context of
give me a
Raiders.
charisma check to see how artful you are, Mazzy.
Okay. We're gonna die.
He sort of raises a brow, but whether or not he believes you, he says, perhaps there is great evil in the land, but I cannot leave here until this house is in order. I have been meditating for a long time and come to great conclusions. However, there is a devil here who covets my soul.
You mean the Iranian in the other room?
Yes. Destroy
Oh.
her. And I will ascend.
Alright. Good
So,
to know. Let's
It's a Mabs
work
turn.
on that.
It's a Ham Mab's turn. Ham Mabs, what are you doing?
Ham is totally in to want to punch the demon. He's like, you know what? Let's do it. Can we get something that can help us fight like the demon?
Well, yeah, that would be useful.
And he says, all you need is the law. He gesticulates to his own emaciated, wearing nothing but a loincloth ass figure. But he also says, there are many vile people who seek to make their wealth here. They covet weapons, and you can find them in the rooms above.
The room above?
Rooms, plural, above.
Okay. Let's get ourselves armed.
All
For the
right,
glory
let's
of
do it.
Madeira.
Alright, so Ham Mabs, you want to take point and move into the next room?
Yes.
Is it passageway east and passageway west? Which one do you take?
He actually, what's the quickest way? I ask him.
He says, that is for you to learn. Take this challenge and grow strong.
Okay. Let's go east.
Alright, so
Okay.
the two of you proceed east. You have to climb up the tall ledge. And you find yourselves feeling like, this is a dangerous place full of danger. But you're not getting jumped just yet. You wind around a hallway and find a shivering Svorin who says, who is it? Oh, it's you. Oh my god, what they did to Vodenson and Durban. Who knows what happened to Orla? Kind of weeps and says, let's get out of here. But the sail, what happened to it?
We need to go upstairs. We're gonna get some weapons. Very big thing. We're Madeirans now.
He's like, what?
Well, we met an angel who saved our lives, and now we worship Indira. Yeah,
He's
long
like,
story.
It destroyed the demon, the giant demon
The
that
ones
came
that
from the
were
earth.
chasing us that killed our friends.
and he's like, well, I mean, I guess it can't be all that bad. And
Yeah, and also told us where to find some weapons. So, you know.
And so, do you guys join with him and like just double dash to the next room for your turn?
Yeah, we're gonna go and
Yeah. Oh,
and that's a
sorry, you
full,
first.
a full go around. All right, and now it's the party's go again.
So, before we left the room with urns, I wanted to carve on the wall for posterity's sake. The Irene in the banquet hall must be defeated at all costs. Do not listen to her lies. Slay her. And then I put the sign of Madeira underneath it. And the sign of Odin.
What are you writing? Where are you writing this?
In the urn hall. On the wall. One of the walls. Whichever one's most expedient.
Alright, you etch it on a wall. And then after taking a moment, do you guys move south or west?
Probably south. Or do we go west? No, we want to go get the weapons on the top floor, right?
Alright, you head south. And Ham Mabs, you're one action up on her. What do you spend that doing?
I am gonna just be keeping my head on a swivel, as we're gonna be heading upstairs.
All right, the three of you head up to the next floor and manage to pass to a room which seems transformed from when last you saw it. You step into an overgrown room. There's patchy green growing out of cracking, warped rock that are halfway between dugout cave and built-up stone walls. The vegetation grows very thick to the southeast. And you notice Sven is bleeding heavily. And as he bleeds, the thick vegetation almost twitches a little, like it's smelling it.
Let's keep moving, Sven.
Right, yeah. To the west?
Alright. You head west. And you note something as you come. The doors, which were closed when you came in, are open. And there is you also pass a stairway, I would note.
Huh. A whole bunch of that happening. Oh, the door's up. Oh, the tic-tac-toe game.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't part of.
His foreign members, he's like, oh, the tic-tac-toe, he says deliriously.
I'm sure that means something to me.
Alright, so it's Mazzy's turn. Mazzy and Mabs, you want to head south?
Yeah,
Yep.
looks like it.
Okay, important note, the room you're in, 7. It's a cubic intersection. Iron doors, yada yada. Some of the walls have a translucent sheen. I presume you do not stop to investigate that. We just keep moving.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah.
There's something that
Translucent
you've come to
sheen.
recognize as a hidden door to the west. To the south, there's stairs down. And actually, you are in a ritual chamber with ancient etched stone venerating a lion wreathed by clouds, stars, ravens, and runes. A large iron door would have blocked passage to the north if it wasn't open, and the stairway to the south is sealed by a large stone slab. Except, one moment. The large stone slab is actually peeled back and has opened up. To the east is a strange apparatus. To the east is a strange apparatus of lapis lazuli and silver. In the form of a doorway. Strange green leaves seem to sprout from nowhere into its edges. The room is stacked with lapis lazuli statuettes worth 200 GP across 4 gear slots. And there are stacks and stacks and stacks of loose silver coinage worth 500 GP. Furthermore, there's a sapphire worth 280 GP and 2 javelins adorned with blue paint.
Javelins!
Roll me an int or a wisdom to think about them. And a roughly worked ceremonial silver scale and a sandalwood scroll case containing command and a wand of speak with dead. And I would just like to note, as level 0s with beginner's luck, you can use wands and read scrolls.
And I'm trained by a seer.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
So-
you do it.
I'll grab the scrolls and wand. And you did better on the intelligence roll than I did.
Okay. These blue painted javelins are possessed of a powerful and potent Madeiran magic. Demons struck by them disappear into a puff of blue smoke along with the javelin. So you just need to tap at all a demon or a devil and they will go away if you hit them with these javelins.
Yes! Yes! Let's get it!
And Svorin's like, look at all this wealth! We need to leave for the longship now!
You take the wealth. Leave if you must.
Svorin's like,
Yeah,
Got a demon to kill. Let's do it.
And Svorin's like, well, I won't let it be said that I left you with nothing. And he gives you his round shield and his short bow with 3 arrows.
I'll take the short bow if that's okay.
I'm
Do you
making
have
a
any
round
torches
shield.
left?
And he says, only the one. And he hands you 1 torch. And then he fucks off with as much of the treasure as he can carry. He's heavily wounded, but, you know, I'm sure he'll be fine.
Tell Yarla that, shit, what was my previous character's name? Corla?
Hmm?
Tell Yarla that Corla brought these for her.
I'll do that.
It didn't mean a lot.
He disappears. So there's a passage down to the south and a hidden door to the west, and you kind of know the lay of the land otherwise. What do you do?
All right,
Wanna
are we
check
looking
to
for
see
more
where
weapons?
That stairs go.
I think we're at a bit of
What
a
did you say?
conversational impasse here, yeah.
Yeah, want to go down these stairs and see where they go?
Yes. Let's do this.
All right. So the group descends the stairs, and I then make you invisible. Aha! I move you where you're going. You find yourselves in a hallway. It's sort of like a cracked off on either side, like hallway. And it is Mazzy's turn, although I presume the group is going to want to move in unison once more.
Yep.
Indeed. Well, this way would seem like a solution.
Okay.
And then maybe up. Yeah. Oh, it just opens into the.
You see
Okay.
a 10-foot by 10-foot barrier of slime.
Mm-hmm. Well, we now know where this goes. Do we want to turn back?
There's a passage to
Before
the
it's
east and a
too
passage
late?
to the west.
West. Let's check west.
Okay. Westward how? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right.
So this
okay.
in this whole little crawl bit takes go around of initiative for both of you. All right, you find again a telltale one turn click and then auto reset hidden door right here.
All right. So, Bazzy, here's the idea. We hit the button at
Mhm.
the same time, throw it a spear, and then hit the button to close it.
Well, there's no button to close it. It just automatically closes after like one turn later.
Okay. Okay.
What if
so
we miss?
we don't miss.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
All right, so you guys' plan is click, both toss your blue javelins, and then fuck off. Correct?
Yeah, we're kind of hoping like we get like some sort of surprise. Just be like, yeah, we're planking. We somehow have strategy.
You're planking. You open the door and she sees you both. Who's planking? No. The Irene is. You see, some people are over investigating the slime barrier where light surely came through before. Irene is like turns around, just like this look that she has in the picture. Actually, beautifully prescient Pat, looking over her shoulder, like what? And you are both stanced up. Give me your javelin tosses.
For Madeira! Who I worship now! Gonna sub in a short bow.
Mazzy, reminder, you have a point of luck if you want to reroll.
You know what? I think I will.
Oh my god. Your AC is 17. So, you have a plan. You both throw your javelins. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Mabs, you'd have the third, right?
A what?
I have a what?
There were 3. You've thrown 2. Who has the last one?
Oh, there were 3? Okay. Yeah, I guess I have that last one then.
Okay. So they both flow wide. Biting, hideous, demonic laughter boils up at you, and she points and says, "They will be my next feast. Bring me their souls." And Mazzy, you get one more turn. Or one turn at the start of initiative. You wanna give a final toss?
Or you want to charge?
Given that your dex is 14, I think
you're
you're
right.
better off throwing, honest.
Yeah, that's also very valid.
Alright.
Here's a thought, though. The 2 that we threw clanked to the ground. Why don't you charge?
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna grab
them?
mine and do a bonsai. Don't worry.
Okay.
Right, so you run up to try and grab yours, Ham. You scatter. You see there's a cubi and more oozes, and surely you'll be dead soon. But out in the darkness, you feel and you grab the shaft. Just as Mazzy tosses dead center, dealing 3 damage, and the guy laughs before they see the blue runes and like blue smoke pop away instantly. When that happens, every ooze halfway dissolves. It looks like they've all lost half their hit point. One of them just like shrivels to nothing and dies over it. In fact, so do the 2 that were fought earlier that start to come around the corridor, because they were partially wounded. They're gone. It is, however, one living Grey Ooze's turn, and the Cubi reels back, shrieks, and says, "Kill her!" And this, Mazzy, do you start running the moment it goes? You will leave your compatriot in the dark.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I run.
Alright, you get to about here. The Grey Ooze nearby, you hear the slurp, slurp, slurp. They're chasing you. They're getting closer. You see them peeking around the corner. Ham Mabs, it's you and the Cubis and some handful of the remaining Grey Oozes in the dark. What do you do?
I am going to be going around in the dark. I'm going to try to look for a demon that can stab.
Give me a wisdom check to see if you can, sense based on their hideous shrieks.
Natural 20?
You fought. You jump on the table and reason based on the left hand position where the Cubi would still be. Fire voice. Make me your attack with advantage. She and the javelin disappear as you ram it into her heart. You feel the blue smoke against you more than anything. And there is one devil remaining in the whole arena, in fact. And the oozes seem to be responding to their orders. The great oozes have charged as far as they're going to get. Mazzy, your turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna double round back to the pool of slime.
The membrane. And you pull up with your torch, you illumine a cubi and 2 gray oozes. The cubi is shrieking angrily at something to the northwest, like she's really focused on something up there.
Well,
and a reminder,
this sounds
the
like...
moment you make the stab, Ham, the javelin poofs out of your hand as well.
Yeah, I need to know where the other javelin is then.
Well, you've got a little bit of light, and me shooting arrows at the incubus from behind.
Ooh.
Or cubus.
I'm going to count it as cover because it partially dissolves on the way, but you do such a great shot, it billows through all 10 feet of slime, and you deal 3 damage. He turns around angry, struck from behind.
I didn't realize that it was a solid wall. I thought it was just the floor and
it's like
ceiling.
Stretched
Everything was
floor to
lined with
ceiling.
it.
There's like a membrane.
Gotcha. Ooh, creepy.
All right, the other gray oozes catch up. Cubi's turn. She orders one of the gray oozes to go through and just fucking kill you. They enter the membrane no problem and attack with a tentacle.
Right, I might be dead.
Ooh.
I'm dead.
You are tagged and go
Wait.
down. Wait. Oh, you have.
Wait, no. I have a round shield.
You sacrifice. It breaks off. Great use of Viking equipment. Meanwhile, she orders the gray ooze to get up on the table and like kind of grab at Ham, not burning him, but trying to like grapple him. Ham, the gray ooze grabs at your wrist. You feel a light burning, but you're just held in place as the cubi comes up to give you a little kiss. Oh, Ham. So, she deals 8 damage, but also, more importantly, 2d6. Hey, what's your whiz?
8.
5. You're down to 2. So you're down, but you're in a weird fugue state. You feel the cubi crawl on. Ham, roll me a charisma save to see if you can defend your very soul here in these final moments. You remain true to Madeira. And,
Even though we just met 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, more importantly...
Anything happens.
roll me 1d20 to see if you get up at 1 gaming. At this time. Yeah, the gray oozes aren't doing anything. Well, I know they are, actually. What am I talking about? I had them going the gray ooze.
Probably doing what?
Mazzy. You see your friend is down with the cubi doing something to him, but there's an ooze in front of you and ooze is behind. What do you do?
Okay. Well, I want to light this fucker on fire. The slime wall, that is.
All right, so you stab your torch into the 5-foot section that contains the gray ooze.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You know that while it doesn't seem to fire damages it, the acid breakdown and like the transitive form of the other stuff surrounding around it dissolves it. Dealing 5 damage more than it's 4, and you destroy it. And there is now a 5-foot opening in the slime wall.
Okay.
Oh no, you think that for every 5 feet traversed, you'd think you'd take 1 damage. Meaning you could now just barely survive a run through the slime wall. Do you do it?
Yes. And
right,
can
and also,
I try and locate that last javelin?
Your torch got destroyed. Do you have another one?
Yes, I do.
Alright, you whip out and burn your other torch. You take 1 damage. And you run into the room and you see the downed javelin. It's right by Corla's body. And you run into it and you see Hams is getting held down. The gray oozes are piling in from behind. and the cubi makes a drain attempt on your unconscious friend. Ham, you've reached 0 wisdom.
I do have
sign-
a round shield.
So what was that?
I do have a round shield because, yeah.
Oh, do you want to have... Okay, here's what happens.
Yeah.
You
I'm sorry
you were
about that.
down, right? But like you kind of still had a bit left in you. When you feel all this occurring, you have your charisma check was too good. You won't go down this easy. You stay up at 2 wisdom and up at 1 gaming as the shield actually breaks. You are like bleeding out, but you are able to act. It is your turn, Ham. You're restrained by the gray ooze, but you might be able to take a stab at either the thing pinning you or the thing kissing you.
Can I shove the succubus towards Mazzy's javelin now?
Yes, give me a strength check.
It's just like, no, be gone, thought.
Be gone! Thought!
You push her, but she actually falls onto you romantically. Make me that charisma check again.
Damn. She's even sexy when she's falling.
Your faith is wavering. Mazzy, your turn.
Okay. I gotta help my bro out.
If you want to, but the thing is with the great ooze stood up there and her on the ground, you're going to have to get pretty close to get the shot. All right.
Yeah, I charge in and I'm going to, well, I guess can I still throw it from point blank, or can I
If you're willing
only
to take
use
a stab, I'll give you advantage. Because she's prone.
okay, yeah, let's do it. And is it strength then? An advantage?
Is it a finesse weapon?
Oh, yeah, then I would do that. Absolutely.
All right, then you can summon your dex. Yeah. Pop the deck.
All right.
You tap her. She's like, ah! She takes like a small stab to the back, and then poof, she disappears. There is no one around to direct the gray oozes, but they are doing what they were last ordered to do. One of them is restraining your bleeding friend, and the others are chasing you. Mazzy, you got like 15 feet of movement left or so. Do you want? What do you do?
Can I? Jesus. Yeah, maybe
Run to the
here.
angel.
Oh, right, run to the angel. Yes. If I can survive this round, I will.
All right. So are you trying to like duck and hide behind the table?
That was kind of the idea.
Give me a dex check. They're not the best at tracking based on torchlight, and you actually find an alcove under the table where you can temporarily hide. They fan out all around and then pass by you. The honor, the power of the nat 20. And it is Ham Maps. The gray ooze holding you continues to try holding you. But it does a weak job. Roll me that strength check. All you need is 4 or more. Alright, yeah. Maps.
It's like 11, so.
You don't think you're going to last too long, but you've broken away and you can move. What do you want to do?
I'm running north. I'm just like, see ya.
Alright, so show me where you
I'll
move
meet
to.
you there.
And Mazzy, I presume you two sprint together pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yeah.
Make
if
your
at all
choice.
possible.
Make your choice of a strength or dex check to like sprint alongside one another.
Dex all the way across the sky.
I am rolling strength. Let's see.
Oops, wrong stat block actually. One sec. Detail, abilities, Dex. There we go.
You sprint fast,
Yes.
and you see a wall in front of you, a 10-foot thick, projection of slime. What do you do confronted by this? There's a path this way to the left. Do you take it? Slimes are on your heels.
Yeah, we gotta take left. Let's go left.
You round
Mhm,
the left, and by the luck bestowed by the law of Madeira, you find there's a way around, and you slide into the central chamber under the aesthetics light, and the slimes, last order to pursue you, do so mindlessly and are destroyed. Looking down at you, the aesthetics looks down and says, "You have honored the deeds of the ones who carved this place. I will go now, destroy the foe you have spoken of, and all enemies of Madeira. Go in the law, and you will be safe."
Oh.
With a clap of their hands, like, they shimmer and disappear.
Well, this can only go well.
Let's get upstairs, but I think I'm done for. Ugh.
Also, the foundry might have just had a little crap out, but we should be back.
Indeed. Let's go. We've done well.
So, yeah, you guys are headed for the exit. Oh. So what way do you take the exit? You know, feel free to do your, like, you know, you get 2 rooms with the dash together, and I assume that all you're doing is trying to move together.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
just going
Although I would note, Ham is still bleeding heavily. Do you stop to bandage his wounds?
Yeah, please.
Alright, that'll be an
Oh,
action.
and actually,
Hmm?
can we go back into that other room? Oh yeah, sorry. Let me give you an intelligence check to try and help you stabilize. And can we go back into the other room and try and find the sail on our way out?
Yeah, we just go south. Let's go.
Yeah, you check the southern room. The sail is down here, and give me an int check to bind up Ham's wounds.
I just got a 15.
Okay, yeah. He's no longer bleeding now. He's not going to die. You pick up the sail. Elbil is here, but he's been devoured of anything useful that was either... Actually, generally speaking, only anything no, the gray pudding got on him. The black pudding and the gray ooze. Yeah, it's a slag of Elbil and Elbil-like loot. You guys have just bound up the wound when... Four gray oozes glide across the floor, going inert the moment they detect the light. Looks like they are prepared to pounce.
Do you remember how to... Because we might need to do that.
A what?
I said, do you remember how to get out of here in the dark? Because we might need how to do that.
Yeah. Grab the sail and we run.
And I tossed the torch behind me.
Alright. I think that we found there is actually a way to do that fairly dynamic.
Yeah.
Boom. Alright, yeah.
I'm gonna grab Azzy and I'm...
Alright. You two run through the dark. You feel the electrical humming of the rooms. You run back, and you make it to the otherworldly Arboretum-ass plant growery, the greenhouse of gold and emerald. You make it up you feel the railing. You're running along the railing, and you are groping for the hidden door passage up here. You make it.
I think
you find
right
it.
about now is when I start lighting arrows on fire to light the way a little bit.
All right, you sort of like spark at just a small amount of light. You're in total darkness. It's very scary, and the total darkness is not kind in the Shadowdark.
I know that. That's why I lit the arrow.
And by the dawn's early light, you see a huge key up ahead. Just in and amongst the stuff, you just see a big old key, like a cartoonishly large key. It looks like it would have gone in the hole from the big doors, but you know that you actually opened those using the pillars downstairs.
So, yeah, let's... All right. We go west and then I guess north. Hopefully, they were able to loot all the treasure. Or do we need to grab that?
He just took what he could take on his hands. You know, there's tons of stuff in there. Do you try and head back
Alright.
for it?
Yeah, we can go get the treasure in the roommate. I think.
Important note. What do you do about the huge key?
Not touching that.
No, I don't.
That's a
trust
trap. I wasn't here before.
And so you give it like a wide berth?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright. When it is clear that you are not taking the bait, the mimic transforms and sort of like chatters after you with some scant light between the two of you. It's hard to carry a burning arrow, and it starts to burn your arm. Mazzy, do you drop it?
Yes, but I light another one almost immediately after.
Alright. How many arrows does that leave you at? 4? 3?
I picked up 3, so this is my second.
All right, we're
So
going
good.
north.
We're so good. So not gonna die.
Okay. Mimic clatters behind you, and you guys move through the open passageway, and you find the room full of treasures, so many silver coins, so much stuff, and you realize the sail could really be used effectively to like expand and grab up the money. Do you use it?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Oof. Okay. Pretty much between you and the other guy, and you fill up all your gear slots. There's no room left. You are totally full up. Okay.
All right, let's get the hell out of here.
You hear a low
Alright, let's
growl as you start to turn around. At the edge of the fire, you see long noses.
Oh no. What sort of long noses?
Not sure if they're feathered or not. Historians might argue.
Oh, fuck. We are not getting out of this alive.
As you see 4 velociraptors up ahead. They look at you hungrily.
Do we have any jerky to throw?
We're gonna
in?
have to check to see if room. We have to run. We're gonna have to run.
Right. It is
I would
straight
note-
shot, isn't it?
I would note, you have a scroll of command you haven't used.
Scroll of command. Oh. Ooh. How do
Do
I
it.
roll for?
So
How do I roll to use it?
you can use whatever stat seers use to cast, and I would allow anything. Int, Wiz, Cha, any of the big 3. Pick your best one, honestly. You're gonna need it. You issue a verbal
Great.
command to one creature in range, and for beginner's luck and seer purposes, I will let us waive the restriction of understanding you. Command must be one word. The target obeys the command for as long as you focus. If the command is directly harmful to the creature, they get a charisma check against your last spellcasting check.
Wow.
Fortunately, the luck has been spent.
Yeah.
There was a
Jesus.
magical mishap, unfortunately, and as it kind of fouls up, the command spell catches onto golden flame and sort of like poofs out of existence. In the process, 2 of the velociraptors are gone.
Oh.
Also in the process, Mazzy's armor and weapons are gone.
Oh. Well,
And
you know,
it's you.
it wasn't doing much.
And I presume you begin running, yes?
Yes.
She's like, stay, and it
Meanwhile-
does that.
Yeah, Ham.
Just
Would you
running.
do you try and like attack one of them as you go?
I think I'm gonna like double to like run.
You sprint.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think we just
The
fucking
mimic
run.
emerges, chasing you. The velociraptors kind of like They take a variable. You're approaching the hot chamber. I wonder if lizards like the heat. Roll me a Dexter strength check for your final sprint.
Feet don't fail me now.
Bye-bye.
Ham, you fall behind in the heat room. Mazzy just ahead of you. The mimic doesn't come, doesn't like the heat apparently, but one of the velociraptors comes up and makes a fatal claw swipe for you. Do you have any way to get out of this?
No.
It catches you in the back. As Mazzy, you look back. Do you look back, Mazzy?
Oh yeah, I of course I look back. Absolutely. I thought that was gonna be me.
You look back into the heat chamber, you see him down, and it's just this moment. You hear a huge roar of seawater. As suddenly, the water surges over the blank and rushes down this 10-foot sluice, knocking you in and extinguishing your light, and seawater enters this chamber, and there is salty steam all over both of you. You don't know where you are. You don't know what's happening. It's sizzling. And you don't know where the velociraptors have been knocked either. But, Ham Mabs, roll me your 1d4, -1, please.
Wait, 1d4 -1? What is this for?
This is deciding how many
I'm
turns
down
he has
again.
left. You feel him.
Oh, we're both down?
No, only he is. You feel him,
Oh,
and you don't know how long he has, but you get the sense that if you just get him out to the light, you just need to get him 2 rooms away. The steam is all ever present. What do you do?
alright, I want to listen to the room and try to
Steam.
purify.
The sound of steam is ever present. Like literally, like a huge saltwater wave just got immediately vaporized into steam. The hiss of steam is all you hear.
Alright, let me give me 1 sec. Let me look at my and he had the yeah, he has all the loot too. Let's see, sandalwood scroll case, which I've used.
You just have a scroll
Ground,
case. You
that's-
just don't have any scrolls in it.
Yeah, I saw the case.
You ever want to
No
speak
leather
with
armor
Dead
either.
If you know he doesn't survive.
Yes. Well, I know that the Velociraptor is unlikely to eat the loot. It's probably just hungry for him if it's still here. But I don't know where he is. Okay, I'm gonna spend like a few feet of movement, kind of picking myself up and moving around the immediate, like, I'm gonna draw I think I would search this area.
You don't feel any. What are you feeling for? Velociraptors? You don't find any.
Oh wait, no, sorry, a bit souther, so like this area. No, I feel around for like his legs, his arms, kind of just like madly running around in a circle, feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. You find him. You wind up grabbing at him.
Oh, I do? Where is he? He's somewhere in here? Okay, excellent. I'm gonna start dragging him up.
All right, give me a strength check. The final strength check up a slick, like with steam rising past you, and a heavy treasure-laden halfling below you. This final 10 foot of natural worn stairs. Ooh, you fall, and you and Maz are there. And you see Mabs. Mabs, give me a d20 roll. All right, here's what it is. You know he's gonna die if you don't stabilize him right now, Mazzy. Do you try and do it right on the stairs in the dark?
Absolutely, yes.
Give me an int with advantage due to your seer training. Oh, you stabilize him.
Yes.
But you hear the
Wow.
scratching claw of velociraptors approaching.
So stabilized does not mean he's able to move, does it? Or
Nope.
does it?
He's not going to be able to move under his own power.
Oh, wow.
One of the Velociraptors catches up before you can start moving, and intuiting that Mabs is down. Well, honestly, does he? He's going for the clearest meat and biting, honestly. He tries to bite into Mabs. Tearing out a vital bit of Mab's left leg. Mazzy, you know that you're gonna have to amputate. But it's your turn. Give me a strength check to get him the rest of the way up the stairs.
Okay.
By the way, it drops
Oops,
torches
wrong.
fired.
Let's go.
You finally
Yes.
you manage to shake off the Velociraptor from his leg, and you make it out. And finally, you find yourself splashing in the waters once again. How innocent you were when last you were here. And yeah, you pop out into salt water with Hams horribly wounded and a lot of treasure. And with that,
I tourniquet this bitch.
we peel back as you tourniquet it on the steep shore, and that was a side story in the Goo Deep with widespread implications, given that the aesthetic has been unleashed. So, I think we're gonna go favorite moments from both of you and call it. But Ramba, brawl me.
I think it's just the fact is we started out with like having cowards, and then we yelled down our backups. We're just like, yeah, let's go no and stab a demon. That was fun. And also, somehow I think like the entire crew is going to be Madeirans at the end. I don't know, but what do you think?
Very likely. Unless Jarl was just too all of my characters are going to be staunch Nordic god worshippers, and they will be at arms. There might be mutiny.
All right. Pat, what was your favorite moment of this grand display?
I gotta reiterate what Ramba said. I loved the kind of character arc that we got, where it was a whole complete story in and of itself. You know, the demon killed their first characters, and we our next characters converted to a new religion and killed the demon. It was great. Yeah, that was my favorite part, getting to kill the demon.
Hell yeah.
With all that loaded goodness to it.
I completely forgot that item existed, but clearly it existed for a reason. Ironic, of course, that before anybody encountered any enemies or died at all, you would completely unlock the treasure chamber. Which is... I might need to think a little about the structure of this dungeon, but it was very fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Especially like the puzzles were just like, what do we really do?
Yeah.
Because we were just
we
we're
really
two
just fucked
idiots
around with
trying
it.
to solve a puzzle.
Mm-hmm. So,
Exactly.
we gather up for our raid, and we say adieu. And next week, we'll probably have a fuller crew that sails out, and we see what dangers lie ahead of them.
Indeed.
All right, everyone, we're going to raid Coffee Cat Presents. Badoo.